Hey, big warm welcome, guys. Welcome back here. Tuesday morning, just before 12 o'clock Eastern Time. My name is Joseph. Welcome to the Trade Room. Boy, one of those days where we followed the plan. It wasn't perfect every time. We had a couple losses mixed in this morning. But boy, our plan this morning made it very easy to make some early money right away. Got crude in the background here, continuing to push these lows. So welcome aboard. Here's our recap, guys. Again, for today, Tuesday, last day of the month, January 31st. Began our day knowing that we had a bunch of news this morning. We knew we had some 8:30, 9 o'clock, 9:45, 10 o'clock news. We knew we were going to get some action early. And then to make things even easier this morning, went right to the dollar. This is all posted right on the morning prep. And our morning prep, we talked about the fact that the dollar was at a turning point at the lows. And we said, well, if the dollar can get through this turning point, this swing high, the high of day, then it's likely that dollar will keep rising to the next turning point. Well, it did exactly that. And I was wondering when that dollar would push through these highs. It's late in the morning right now, everybody, so just be careful out there. If you've made your money today like we have, just be careful. Late in the morning here now, noontime on a Tuesday. So make sure you're aware. Our morning prep began with the dollar. And we saw the dollar begin rising off these lows right away. When the dollar rises, we knew right away to be selling. Now, at first, though, let's back up. Before this dollar started to rise, what did we see happen? We saw it, right? We saw it fall. We saw the dollar moving lower here earlier this morning. So before it was rising, it was falling. And we had a picture-perfect pattern for our first trade today, which put us in a really great spot. Made $500 the first day, right, first minute of the market this morning. And this is a great example of us following our plan. We have been watching this pattern here for quite some time, and we had a 55 range wave pattern setting up here on the crude. And of course, this wave pattern made all the sense in the world. Momentum was perfect, curled up. It also was a 34 wave. So my 55 range wave pattern was my first trade today. We knew that price would try to go up to the highs, test the highs of that wedge, and it certainly did. So we took our profit. We took our profit at the highs of the wedge on the crude and made our money that way. So first trade today on the crude oil was a nice big winner. It was a 55 wave pattern long. You can see it right there. That was just the beginning of this party, guys. So 55 wave pattern long. Here's your wave. You can see it again here on the 34 range chart. This was easy. Now, if you recall, our morning prep, and again, you know me, I'm not big on hindsight. My morning prep said what? Morning prep this morning, go right to the blog. This is posted for you guys right this morning at 7:45. Morning prep said what? Let's sell the 101.39. Let's sell the wedge highs. That was our job next. We did a great job getting a nice high percentage pattern, taking price up to the highs. Now let's try to sell the highs. That's where you're going to see my second, third, and fourth trades coming from. I'm surprised this crude keeps dropping right now, guys. If you're watching this live price action right now on crude oil. Again, we're going down to the lows of that channel. Remember, guys and gals, one of these positions, one of these opportunities to buy is going to be your big winner. That last fast track winner on crude at about 11:45 here, that was a winner. Wasn't a huge winner, but it was a winning trade. Keep waiting for those high percentage patterns. They're going to come your way, and it's going to be worth the wait. So my first trade, we got long. I then tried to sell the highs on crude oil, tried to sell the highs, took a small loss on it, and there was something up. Remember that this morning? There was something up here at 9:05. Tried to sell the highs here first. Here is 9:05 right there. Got in a little bit too early, tried to sell the highs. Well, when I tried to sell the highs, we quickly saw the dollar chopping around. News had come out of China on that at that point in the morning. We were still wondering what's going on out there. We got a new higher high, and I bought a pullback. So went a little bit against the plan. This pullback that I bought was strictly based on the fact the dollar hadn't moved at all, and crude kept going higher. So we thought to ourselves, there's something else out there. Something's not adding up. And since the buyers kept coming, well, once we saw the second pullback, couldn't resist. So the third trade this morning at 9:20, this pullback long, this wave long, right, was a winner. Now, about this time, we also had our plan of attack on the euro setting up nicely. Remember this? Here was a great example of how this method works on any market, any time frame you want, guys. Here's the euro. Now again, not a big fan of hindsight. Go back to the blog. What did we talk about this morning on the euro? We talked about this morning on the euro before this big tumble happened, right, to sell the highs of the wedge, to buy the lows of the wedge. Where were we? At the highs. We decided there was a level we had to break through, right? What was it again? The level we needed to break through was at 63s, I believe is what it was. 68 is what it was. It was a trigger line from the 34 trend, the 34 chart. So the entry had to be below 68. I ended up getting in here 60s here, 64. And you can see, of course, the biggest trade of the day on the euro. Monster winning trade on this thing. We grabbed the highs, sold the highs. It was an easy pattern to spot. All we had to do was get it below that 34 trigger line, which was hanging out here at that point at about 68. So we knew right away what the plan was. We just had to wait patiently for it. And then did a great job on this, guys. Just a great job on this thing at understanding where the final target goes. Now, again, hindsight is 20/20. At this point, we didn't know that dollar would keep going higher. We didn't know that euro had the bottom was going to fall out of it and keep going lower. What we did know, though, was I'm going to take my money at the low of that wedge and head to the bank.